start recording. And let me pin myself first. Okay, then welcome to Eco 501, week 4, section 2. Let's hope we don't have any disconnection problem this week. And let's start directly from the screen share so that we don't waste time. A little bit of what we are going to do now is going to be a revisit or repeat of last week, since we had a lot of problems. So I've divided the slides into two parts, 4A and 4B for week 4. So over here we're going to do concepts and demand analysis, and this will also include some parts of last week. Okay. First of all, we said that the market is our place where transactions happen. How did we define transactions? We define transactions as a buyer and a seller meets somewhere. Okay. And they're meeting in a place called a market. A market is just an institutional framework. Why do we meet in a market? Because I have one type of skill, but I want to trade it for another type of skill. For example, I don't know how to, I don't have a poultry, but I want to eat eggs. So what do? I go to the market and I just buy eggs. The person who's selling me eggs sells the eggs and takes his money and makes another transaction somewhere else for a skill that he doesn't have. So in the process, what happens? The market allows large-scale cooperation to happen. Okay, this is the first advantage of the market. The second best advantage of the market is that there is no central coordination. Does anybody remember what central coordination meant? When we say that there's no central coordination.
Central coordination means the rules, like you gave the example of football referee. They are apart, but they are not biased towards anyone. So there are rules and regulations which is applicable for everyone.
Here, there's no referee even. The referee in our economics context would be the government or a governing authority. Government is a big concept, but we can also use governing authority in the context of your university. Your university administration is just as good as a government within the campus. So the next advantage is, if there is no coordination, central coordination, then I will, as a buyer, I will try to maximize what I like, minimize what I don't like. Firms also do the same thing. So let's get back to the slides again.
So, sir, so what does basically central coordination refer to? Central
coordination means there's no external intervention into the market, like a referee. For example, in yesterday's match, there was a referee, right? Euro and Copa America.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, and the referee's job was to make sure that all the players, they followed the rules, whatever the rules of the game was.
Yeah.
In central, when we say there's no central coordination, there's no external intervention.
Sir, can price capping be an example of central
price
coordination?
capping is definitely an example of external intervention. For example, a minimum wage. The government sets the minimum wage, right, in every country?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether that's Bangladesh or any other country where our other friends have come from, the government in those countries set a minimum wage. But if there's no central coordination, supply and demand will determine what the price of the wage will be. So we start off with the assumption that there's no central coordination, there's no government, just a bunch of buyers, a bunch of sellers who meet in a market to make a transaction that allows large-scale cooperation. Now the next thing that is, yes.
So basically, when there is no central coordination, supply and demand decide the price.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
That's
sir. Okay.
exactly what it is.
Sir, আরেকটা question, sir. সেটা হচ্ছে এখানে the definition of market, sir, is an institution that makes large-scale cooperation possible with no central coordination. So this definition of market is not the definition of market what we studied in marketing, right, sir?
No. Definitely not like marketing.
Okay, sir. In marketing, market basically refers to actual and potential buyers.
Yes.
So that's not the case here, right?
Sorry, I was just a little bit distracted. I had to say something.
No, sir, it's fine.
Yeah, so yes, market is just an institution. It's not like, market as you defined somewhere else in another, your undergrad, whatever your undergrad discipline was, okay? And in the market,
Okay.
we assume that most of the people are rational. Rationality is a very simple way to, very simple explanation that we maximize things we like because we like them. We want to see a lot of them. We minimize things that we don't like. So, for example, if I'm a household, I like utility that gives me happiness, but I don't like expenditure. However, when we optimize something, we are optimizing a net function, like we said in last week when we were brutally disconnected again and again. What is a net function? To get a benefit, we have to pay a price, a cost. So if we want an utility, we have to spend some money. Similarly, firms love profits, okay, but profits are what? Revenue minus cost. So what do firms try to do? They try to maximize revenue because it's an inflow into their accounts, and they try to minimize costs because cost is an outflow. They don't like costs. So firms maximize profits, which is a net function, which is a revenue minus costs. Households maximize net utility, which is utility minus expenditure. And rationality is just that we maximize things we like and minimize things we don't like.
Okay, sir. Utility basically refers to the service that they're getting from the market or the product.
For service from consumption.
Sorry, sir.
The happiness the person gets from consumption.
Consumption. Okay. Sir. Okay, sir.
Lovely. This we have, I think we have mentioned a lot of times that competition is basically a market share. Okay, when we say market share, then market share has two extreme points: zero market share up to 100% market share. Market share can't be more than that. No matter how small you are, even if you're producing 100 eggs every day, that is a percentage in the market. But the total number of eggs that will be transacted in Dhaka city, or the total number of bananas in Dhaka city or any big city for that point, is huge. So what happens? Each person has a very small market share in the total transaction, whether they are buyers, whether they are consumers. Sorry, whether they're buyers or whether they're farms. So what happens when something like that happens? Number one, as a single buyer or as a single farm, I can't influence the outcome of the market. That's not possible. Second, we also gave an example last week that if there are 4 farms in the market and each farm has, say, 25% of the total market share, there is serious competition here. But
Sir,
tomorrow morning, I'll answer your question right now. Tomorrow morning, if 2 of the farms decide to join, then those 2 farms will have control over 50% of the total market share. That will definitely be undue advantage. So our assumption is nobody has any kind of market share, and even if some of the firms decide to collude, they still can't impact the market. Now, yes, what was your question?
Sir, isn't it some other factors? মানে আমার অপারেশনের বাইরে যদি অন্য একটা ফ্যাক্টর যেটা আমার বিজনেসে আমার মার্কেটে কম্পিটিশন তৈরি করে, সেটা আমার মার্কেট শেয়ারের মধ্যে পড়বে?
Market share is just how much of the total output you're making as a farm. So for example, 200,000 students are coming out from universities every year in Dhaka city, okay? BRAC is bringing out, say, 1,000 every year. So is BRAC's contribution significant to the total number of students that are coming out? Is it significant? It's not significant.
No.
So what happens? BRAC as a single institute can't make an impact on the market. So
হ্যাঁ স্যার, বেসিক্যালি তাহলে ব্রো আমি একটু বলে নেই। হ্যাঁ, বেসিক্যালি তাহলে স্যার মার্কেট শেয়ারের ব্যাপারটা সেটা হচ্ছে যে কারো মার্কেট শেয়ারই এতটা বড় না যে হি ক্যান মেক আ সাবস্টেনশিয়াল ইম্প্যাক্ট টু দ্য মার্কেট শেয়ার এন্টায়ারলি।
And so for simplicity we will assume that it's 0 or near to 0.
স্যার, আমার কোশ্চেনটা হলো আমার গ্রোসারি শপ, আমার অনলাইন গ্রোসারি অপারেশন, এন্ড সো বাই ডেফিনিশন একটা গ্রোসারি সেটা আমার কম্পিটিশন হতে পারে, বাট কম্পিটিশনটা আমার সেখানে হচ্ছে না, কম্পিটিশন হচ্ছে আমার লজিস্টিক্স এর ক্ষেত্রে। ইন ডিফারেন্ট সিনারিও আর ডিফারেন্ট অপারেশন, যারা আমাদের মানে গ্রোসারি শপ না বা অনলাইন গ্রোসারি শপ না, তারা লজিস্টিক্সটা কি বলবো অলমোস্ট লাইক মনোপলি মার্কেটে নিয়ে নিচ্ছে।
আচ্ছা,
সো
yeah, okay, and your question is why this is happening, right?
ইয়েস,
We
আমাকে ইনডিরেক্টলি ইমপ্যাক্ট
there's some
করতেছে।
more assumptions that we're going to look at, and then we're going to break them a little bit. Later on during the course, we'll look at them in detail. Okay?
Okay.
But sir, predominantly, sir, the assumption is no one's market share is that huge that he can impact the market to a substantial degree, right?
Definitely. For example, if you are a banana seller in Dhaka city, can we impact the price of bananas?
No, I can't.
No matter how many bananas you sell, can you do that? It's
No, sir.
impossible. Or অথবা ধরো সিদ্ধ ডিম, if there are 2 crore people in the city, if even 50% eats one egg every day, then there's the demand for eggs in Dhaka city is 10 million per day. As a single seller, can you impact?
No, sir.
So this is what we start off with. Later on, we will, break the assumptions and etc. Okay, lovely. What's this? Now just look at these 2 words: identical, differentiated. Then I'm going to stop the slide. Identical, differentiated. I'm a buyer. If I see this eggs of 2 sellers, A and B, as the same, as a buyer, will I be tempted to offer 2 of them 2 different prices?
No, sir.
I don't know what
No.
the price of eggs is, but the thing is, I have আমার তো একটা আন্দাজ আছে, okay, a dozen eggs will cost this much. So if I see A and B, they're selling the same eggs in my eyes, will I offer them 2 different prices?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, so
That's
this
not
is known as
identical.
homogeneous or identical goods. They're not identical atomic composition wise, but they are identical in the eyes of the consumer. Now, let's assume that one seller is selling eggs from Arong Dairy, another one is selling eggs from Pran Dairy. Now, as a consumer, won't I see them differently?
Yes, sir. It will be.
For whatever cosmetic reason, one side of the market, they will be tilted towards Arong Dairy eggs. Another side of the market, they will be tilted towards Pran Dairy eggs. Okay.
Sir, being a buyer, why are you seeing them differently? Is it due to the brand name?
Brand.
Yes, brand name. They're selling the same eggs. Okay, but
Brand is different.
but you are a student of Bragg.
Yeah.
Okay, so won't you have a little bit of affinity towards or inclination towards the Arong Dairy?
Arong. Okay, yeah, got it.
So in that case, you'll be so if you are a seller, if you are in Karan Bazaar, everybody is selling the same fish. Okay, can you, as a single seller, ask for a higher price?
No, sir.
You can't. But if you are selling Arong eggs, another person is selling Pran eggs from another dairy. Okay, so if Arong tomorrow increases the price of their eggs by 10%, will they lose their total market share, or they will still be able to sell something?
They will still be able to sell something, sir.
So this
Sir,
is
say the question again, please.
So
suppose,
there will be Pran can take this market share.
no, if Arong tomorrow increases
Okay.
the price of their eggs by say 5%,
Mhm.
will people stop buying from them?
Oh,
Yes,
not,
sir.
sir.
Sir,
Entirely.
they might.
No, they
Yes,
won't
sir.
be. Some people might, but most of them, many of them will still buy.
কেন
But
স্যার অন্য জায়গা থেকে কমে পাইলে ওখান থেকে নিবে না?
no. In Karan Bazaar, you can't do that. If you go to Karan Bazaar and if the sellers are selling unbranded,
Eggs.
unbranded eggs.
Yeah.
So if one seller asks for more, buyers will automatically go to the other seller.
Yes.
Surely, yeah.
But if you are selling, if one seller is selling Arong eggs and another one is selling say Pran eggs, if
Mhm.
Arong increases by 5%, some loyal customers will still stick with them.
Because of their brand loyalty.
Brand
Yes.
loyalty plus, for whatever cosmetic reason, people see Apple phones as better than Samsung phones.
Acha. They are prone to that for
prone
their
to
own,
that.
Okay.
own personal reasons.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's get back to the slide now. So when goods are identical in the eyes of the consumers, consumers will not offer two different prices. But when the goods are similar but not identical in the eyes of the consumer, so for whatever cosmetic reason, I will have an inclination to one type of X over the other. So what will happen? I will even if one company increases the price a little bit, I will still stick with them. There are other reasons which we will explore later on.
তাহলে যে আরং আর প্রাণের যে এক্সাম্পলটা ওইটার পয়েন্ট হচ্ছে these are differentiated
Differentiated,
goods.
correct. They're similar, but they're no longer identical in the eyes of the consumer. But if you sell them brandless, will you offer two different prices?
No. If there is no brand,
না
then
না
we
মানে the
will
current
definitely not
বাজার
offer
example.
two
Our
different.
was example, correct. If it's brandless, if you can't identify this is Arong, this is Khan, you will not definitely not offer two different prices, will you?
No sir.
No.
তাহলে the current বাজার example ওইটা হচ্ছে স্যার homogeneous goods এর ক্ষেত্রে আর হচ্ছে যে প্রাণ আর আরং ওটা হচ্ছে differentiated goods এর ক্ষেত্রে।
Correct.
Okay sir. Okay.
So
Okay,
for
symmetric-
homogeneous, those are similar but not identical.
Similar but not identical. Okay,
They are not homogeneous, they are differentiated.
differentiated, right? When you brand them. As a
Brand them.
symmetric information, we have done this quite a lot, that both parties, buyers and sellers, have the same set of information about the quality of the product. So if I am selling a good quality product, it will definitely sell better than a bad quality product because price determines quality. But if I cannot if I can't distinguish as a buyer which one is good product and which one is bad product, then what do? I offer an average price. We've discussed this before. As a seller, I know the actual quality of the what do you call it? Quality of the product, but the buyer does not know. This is known as asymmetric information. If we go to Nilkhet, to a second-hand book market, we know that all the books there are used books. So if a seller charges the actual price of the book, nobody will buy, because we all know these are second-hand books. But if we go to say any Andor, Reading Cafe, Batighor, Pathak Samabesh, okay, or any other proper bookshop, we know that they're not selling bad type products. Okay, so what happens? We pay the full price for it. Why? Because we know that what we are paying for, we are getting that thing. But if we are in a market where the sellers know the actual quality of the product, buyers don't, then what will the buyers do? We've already mentioned buyers will offer an average price of the two products. That average price will benefit whom? The price of the low product. So ultimately, if quality cannot be distinguished, then only bad products will sustain on the market. So what we are going to do, we are going to initially assume, where is it? What happened? Here, what I agree. Hi. What are you seeing on the screen now?
Class starts 7:10
Fine.
p.m. after Maghrib.
You have mentioned the prayer time and class.
Wait, now. The thing is, I can't see.
I think you need to change the screen.
That's what I just a second. What have I done? Every week we're having some problem. Just a second. Remove the pin. Okay. Let's try.
So from share, just share the screen. I mean, select the screen.
No, I can't see the screen where the slides are.
Sir,
So is
so
it
that
open?
Now let's try again. Oh God. Now what do I do?
And you can check the folder.
Huh?
You can check the folder where you have saved the file and then open the file.
Okay, so that means I close it and open it again, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's try it that way. But anyhow, with one problem, you learn something new, which is always good. Let's try. Let's see if it works this time. No, it is still not working. Hi. All it's showing is the, see, it's coming back to this thing again. ahead. Now what's happened?
স্যার আপনার ফাইলটা খুব সম্ভবত মিনিমাইজ হয়ে গেছে, আপনি আবার ওটা কেটে আবার ওপেন করেন স্যার।
Try to I mean, I logged out and opened it again. Later.
স্যার স্ক্রিন শেয়ারে ওখানে কয়েকটা অপশন আছে, ডেস্কটপ অথবা এ ট্যাব অথবা স্লাইড। আপনার হয়তো ওখানের কোন একটা অপশন চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে,
কিছু একটা হয়েছে।
অথবা ওখানে স্যার আপনি ক্লোজ করে ফেলেছেন।
Now
আপনার শেয়ার স্ক্রিনের ওখানে অপশনগুলো দেখেন, আপনি ওখান থেকে চেঞ্জ
share screen, all I see is the screen that I'm seeing, whiteboard and iPhone pad. That's it. Let me try open it again. Okay, let's see now. So, no, it's not seeing. Now what do I do? Acha, what I can't do that either. It's not in any one of these. There's this. Okay, what I do, let me reconnect, okay?
ওকে স্যার।
Okay, sir.
Going out and coming back again in just 2 minutes.